Hello, and a very warm welcome to Pension and Benefits UK. I'm so glad you're here. Now, listen closely, because this is an important update for all of us here in the UK, especially if you're over 70, or you know someone who is. The truth is, your free bus pass might not stay free for long. New changes are coming in 2025, and they could significantly affect how, when, and even whether you can travel without paying. So today, I'm talking about the latest reforms and proposals to the free bus travel scheme for older people in England, what they mean for you, and how you can get ready before things change for good. Here's the big news: local councils across England are increasingly under financial pressure, and as a result, some of them are looking at altering or scaling back the concessionary bus travel scheme. That's the system that currently lets many of us hop on local buses for free once we hit a certain age. Councils are exploring things like tightening the hours when travel is free, raising the eligibility age, or even introducing a small payment per journey. If you're over 70 or even approaching that age, this is something you absolutely need to know about, because these changes could reshape a part of life you've come to rely on. Before we dive into the changes, let's recap what things look like right now so we can really understand what may be at stake. Under the current national concessionary travel scheme, older people, in many areas that means 60 or over, but for free bus travel the age of 66 plus in some places, depending on local policy, can get a bus pass from their local council. That pass generally allows free travel on local buses after about 9:30 in the morning on weekdays, plus all day on weekends and public holidays, though times may vary slightly, depending on your local authority. Councils reimburse bus companies for the lost fare revenue, so that these free journeys don't bankrupt the bus firms. This setup has been a lifeline. It's allowed older people to stay independent, get to appointments, visit family, go shopping, and remain connected with their community without worrying about transport costs. So why is this under threat in 2025? Well, several reasons. Rising costs for councils. Local councils are grappling with tighter budgets. The cost to run concessionary travel schemes is rising steeply, not just because of bus company costs, but also due to general inflation, rising wages, and growing demand for other public services like social care. Less money from central government. In many places, funding from central government isn't keeping up. As money is squeezed, councils are balancing between paying for buses and funding other essential services. Changing demographics. More people are living longer. More people are using concessionary travel, and life expectancy is rising. As well, many pensioners are more active than ever, meaning the scheme is being used heavily. Some argue that the eligibility age should match the increasing state pension age. Push for means testing or small charges. Some proposal makers suggest introducing means testing, so only those with lower incomes get free passes, or charging a modest fare per ride, say, £1 or £2, to reduce the burden on council finances. Here are some of the main ideas being discussed. What could actually change, in practical terms. Restricting free travel hours. Some councils are proposing to tighten the times when bus travel is free. For instance, rather than free travel starting at 9:30 am, it might instead begin later, or end earlier in the evening. That could make it harder to run errands, visit friends, or go out early in the morning. Raising the eligibility age. Instead of giving free passes to everyone over 60 or 66, depending on your area, some suggest aligning eligibility with the state pension age. This means that fewer people would qualify, especially as the pension age continues to rise. Small charges per journey. Rather than completely free rides, councils are looking at possible small payments per trip, perhaps £1 or £2. The idea is to offset some of the costs without completely removing the concession benefit. Means testing. Means testing would involve assessing people's income or savings. Only those who meet certain financial criteria would be eligible for a free pass, while those with higher incomes might lose free access or pay something. Local variation. Not all councils will do the same thing. These proposals are not uniform. Some local authorities are considering only minor adjustments. Others are exploring more substantial changes. It very much depends on where you live. Now, let's bring it down to real life, because policy talk can feel very abstract otherwise. Here's how these changes might affect your day-to-day if they go ahead. Mrs. Patel, aged 74, London suburb. Mrs. Patel meets her friends for a weekly lunch at 10 am. With the current pass, she hops on the bus for free. But if her council pushes back free service to start at 10:30 or later, she might have to wait, or even pay a small fare, and that adds stress. Mr. Thompson, 80, in a rural village. He doesn't drive anymore, so he relies on a twice-weekly bus to get to the nearest town for grocery shopping. That bus is infrequent, so if there's a charge per journey, even a small amount like £1 or £2, his monthly costs could go up significantly. For someone on a fixed pension, that extra expense can really add up. Mrs. Evans, 68, but still working part-time. If the eligibility age goes up, tied to state pension age, she might suddenly find herself ineligible for the free bus pass, even though she still needs to travel to work or volunteer. Mr. and Mrs. Gupta, both in their 70s, with modest savings. Suppose means testing is introduced, their small savings could put them just over the threshold, and they might lose the pass, but because their income is still limited, paying even a small fare could be a real hardship. This isn't about council saving a few pounds, it's about independence, dignity, and staying connected. For many older people, the free bus pass isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. It enables you to attend medical appointments without worrying about taxi or bus fare. It keeps you socially active, meeting friends, going to community groups, visiting family. Losing or restricting it could lead to isolation, especially for older folk who no longer drive. For those on tighter incomes, paying per trip could force difficult trade-offs: groceries, bills, or paying bus fare. If you're watching this, and this affects you, or someone you care about, here's what to think about and steps you can take now. Check what your local council is planning. Because these changes are not the same everywhere, the very first step is to find out what your local council is proposing. Visit your council's website, or call them, and ask, are you reviewing the concessionary bus travel scheme? Will there be changes in 2025? Get involved. Councils often run consultations when they change their transport policies. This could be your chance to have a say. Write in, join local senior groups or residents' associations, and make your voice heard. Reach out to organizations, pensioners' associations, transport charities, Age UK, and similar groups are often campaigning on this issue. Find out what they recommend, and if they have local chapters. Plan your journeys. If you think free times might be restricted, start thinking now about when you travel. Can you shift appointments or outings to earlier or later? Can you combine trips? Budget for possible costs. Even if you hope changes won't affect you, it may be prudent to set aside a small amount for transport in case free travel is restricted or a small fare is introduced. I want to reassure you, nothing is final yet. These are proposals and discussions. Rights and benefits that people have relied upon for years don't disappear overnight, and, critically, older voices matter. By staying informed, asking questions, and speaking up, you can influence how things go in your area. I also want to say, you are not alone. Millions of pensioners are watching this story unfold, and many charities and community groups are working hard to make sure the changes are fair, and do not strip away the independence and dignity that the bus pass has provided. Free bus travel for over 70s and older pensioners may face significant changes starting in 2025. Councils are under financial strain and are looking at options like reducing free hours, raising the age, means testing, or introducing small fares. These proposed changes could have a real impact on your daily life, from medical visits to social trips. But nothing is set in stone yet. Your local council's plans may or may not include big cuts, so it's vital to stay informed. You have a voice. Take action now by contacting your council, joining consultations, and supporting campaign groups. Please, don't wait until changes are announced and implemented. Use this time to check what your council is planning. Speak up in consultations. Let your friends and neighbors know, especially other seniors who might not be online or following the news. Consider setting aside a small emergency travel fund just in case. Stay connected to organizations like Age UK and local senior networks. They often have the latest information and know how to help. If this update has been useful to you, do me a favor, hit the like button, and subscribe to Pension and Benefits UK. This channel is here just for you. I'll keep bringing you friendly, trustworthy, and up-to-date news that affects your daily life, state pension changes, DVLA updates, benefits, and more. And please share this video with anyone you know who might be affected, your friends, neighbors, or family in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. Let's make sure we're all prepared and informed together.